Tonight's UFC 101 declaration from Wachovia Center is available in high definition. We begin in the lightweight division as New Jersey's own Kurt Pellegrino, Batman, battles longtime UFC veteran, the dentist from Iowa, Josh Neer. Batman, Kurt Pellegrino. Now is the time. Pellegrino has talked about, Joe, how he wins a couple of fights on the undercard, then he comes into the main TV show and he loses. He's tired of winning 2 and losing 1. He has taken his training to a new level and he wants to really start his meteoric rise tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really has done a lot of different things in his career now. He's trained a lot in Boston. He's been working with Kevin Kearns on his strength and conditioning, working with Kenny and Keith Florian, working with Miguel Torres, really trying to take it and kick it up to the next level. He's a very talented guy, but he's very aware of the inconsistencies in his performance, and he's taken some big steps to try to rectify that.
Kevin Kearns said the conditioning program for this fight tonight was called the Fear for Neer program, because what Kurt said to Coach Kearns is that he wanted the toughest program ever. He wanted to really come and establish himself tonight as a true contender at 155, plus the fact he's from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And so being here in Pennsylvania tonight is like fighting almost in his hometown.
And sometimes that's good, but sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it puts a lot of extra pressure on a fighter because they realize how many of their friends are in attendance, and that can be a detriment.
Here's how many friends. It's 75 miles from Belmar, New Jersey, which is where he is training now. He says, and I quote, he helped distribute 287 tickets to friends and family. No, he did not pay for them, but he helped to distribute them. So there's a lot of Robins in attendance tonight to support Batman, Kurt Pellegrino. Wow. I know that you and I don't have that many friends. Well, you do, but I don't.
I have that many friends on MySpace.
True that.
And on Twitter.
I have that many on Twitter now because of you. Kurt Pellegrino.
What is your address again?
I'm not
Get
saying.
some more.
MFG60.
There we go. I'm Joe Rogan, DOTNET on Twitter.
And don't forget, Dana White will be on Twitter tonight as well, giving you his thoughts. Pellegrino has a ton of respect for his opponent tonight. Truly one of the toughest dudes to ever compete in mixed martial arts. 25 official MMA wins, over 100 amateur fights. 26-year-old Josh Neer returns to the octagon here tonight in Philly.
Yeah, you know, he should have a ton of respect for this guy. This kid is tough as nails and an incredible amount of experience behind him. You know, you said 25-7-1 is his record, but he's got so many amateur MMA bouts as well. I mean, just a tremendous amount of seasoning, tough as nails, and we saw it in his last fight where he pounded on Max Danzig and eventually submitted him with a triangle choke. He is just as dangerous on the ground as he is standing up, and he's a real test for anyone at 155 pounds. This is a big fight tonight for Kurt Pellegrino. Josh Neer is an animal.
Josh Neer single-handedly talked a lot of would-be fighters out of competing in mixed martial arts. He was one of the old-school Militich guys who, when would-be fighters came through the doors in Bettendorf, Iowa, Pat Militich a lot of times would say, all right, go spar with Josh Neer. Well, at the end of about 7 to 10 minutes, those guys didn't want to be fighters anymore.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't want to be fighters. They just want to beat people up. But sometimes when you're fighting, you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail. And most people don't want to be the nail.
The hammer's out there. Josh Neer looking to nail Kurt Pellegrino tonight. As we mentioned, you can go to twitter.com/Dana White UFC. UFC president will give his thoughts throughout the evening. The move to lightweight for Josh Neer continues. This will be his 4th fight in the UFC lightweight division. Our tail of the tape for our first fight of the night, brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. Pellegrino, 4 years older, 3 inches shorter. The reach virtually identical. To officially get us started, here is the veteran voice, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Wachovia Center in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for UFC 101. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 19 wins with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 154 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Kurt Batman And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 25 wins, 7 losses, and 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Des Moines, Iowa, Josh the Dentist Neer. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Dan Mergliotta.
Dan Mergliotta in control of the action for our first fight of the night. The beautiful Ariani. Logan and Natasha. Here tonight, Natasha making her UFC debut. UFC 101 declaration.
Are you ready?
Neer.
Are you ready? Let's go fight, guys.
Against Pellegrino. First round of this fight brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. Now available at tapout.com. Red trunks for Neer. Blue trunks for Pellegrino. Batman gets tagged early. And returns
right
the favor
hand by Pellegrino.
Neer will stand and slug with anybody. Loves a good brawl. Pellegrino won't shy away from it.
Pellegrino looking for the takedown, gets stuffed by Neer. He's caught in a guillotine. He's got
Big slam by Pellegrino.
Very nice, but Pellegrino's got to be careful. Josh Neer dangerous off his back. Submitted Mac Danzig with a triangle off his back in his last fight. Pellegrino passes to half guard. Neer is working butterflies.
Neer made the mention of how he believes people have still judged his ground game by what they saw Joe early in his career. And he said, yeah, at that point it was pretty average, but he's worked on his ground game diligently over the last few years. And as you mentioned, it is well above average.
Yeah, he's very well-rounded, especially at this point in his game. To submit Mac Danzig off your back, Mac Danzig is a very talented ground fighter. And
just underway.
I think he caught Mac Danzig by surprise with how good his ground game is, especially off of his back. You know, a lot of guys are good on top. It's whether or not you're good on the back. That's what really comes into play. That's what makes a difference between a high-level ground fighter.
And as you mentioned, Pellegrino improving his jiu-jitsu with Kenny and Keith Florian at Florian Mixed Martial Arts.
Kurt is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you know he's stumbled a bit in his past as well. Nate Diaz submitted him with a triangle.
Well, Kurt and Hermes Franca were, you know, virtually inseparable for a while, and that's who awarded Pellegrino his black belt, the veteran Hermes Franca. But Pellegrino training near home again in New Jersey.
Josh very active off his back. He's got wrist control on the right arm of Pellegrino. Kurt can't be too casual about this. He can get locked up, and there he does.
Trying to slam his way out of it, and he does, though, Joe.
He slammed his way out of it, but that should have given him a nice message. You can't get casual with Josh Neer's ground game. Look out for his leg. He's got to get his leg out of there, and he does.
Beautiful! Get those hips down!
His corner calling for him to, you know, lose the space between the hips. Work the hips now. Looking for underhooks. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Good right hand by Pellegrino. Josh Neer is attacking off the back though, Mike, and especially in the first round, that's what's really important because they're not slippery yet. You know, when it gets into that second round and everyone gets all sweaty and slippery, in the first round, submissions, you can catch a lot more submissions than you can in the later rounds.
Pellegrino talked about Josh Neer, said he's a super tough dude, talented kid, definitely the toughest test so far in his fighting career.
Without a doubt. Pellegrino passed a half guard here, but Neer is real good at recovering it. Watch his butterfly guard, Mike. He pushes on the hips, and he gets that knee in between it right away. He regains guard. That left knee is the key. The left knee is what's separating him.
He's ripped so many opponents apart on the feet that, as I mentioned earlier, you often forget about the versatility of Josh Neer.
Well, you see how